Hello, finance enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the secret behind one of the longest-lasting empires in history, the Byzantine financial system. While the Western Roman Empire collapsed in 476, Byzantium stood strong for an incredible 1,127 years. Wars, plagues, invasions, yet it endured. How? The answer, in one word: financial intelligence. It all began with that famous gold coin. In the 4th century, Emperor Constantine introduced the solidus, known among the people as the nomisma. Weighing about 4.5 grams and made of 98% pure gold, it was essentially the dollar of the Mediterranean. It was accepted everywhere, from China to Spain. The mints were under strict state control, and counterfeiters faced execution. The result? Inflation was virtually zero, less than 0.1%. The nomisma was used for large transactions. The middle class traded in silver millia region, and everyday markets relied on the copper follies. This three-tiered currency system served every social class, keeping the economy stable and trade predictable. But like everything else, it changed over time. By the 11th century, the nomisma, once the symbol of stability, began losing its purity. It was replaced by the hyperpyron, made of 80% pure gold. This marked the first small crack in Byzantium's economic armor, though the system still showed remarkable resilience. Taxes were the backbone of Byzantium. They sustained not only the treasury, but also the army, the palaces, and the cities themselves. Annona. Farmers paid 10% of their harvest, in grain, wine, or olive oil, to the state. This ensured both the people and the army were fed. Commerciaroi. A 10% sales tax applied to market transactions. Trade was tightly regulated, yet never stifled. Kapnikon, a head tax collected from every adult male, the empire's version of a stable revenue stream. Demotion, customs duties, applied to goods passing through ports and Silk Road checkpoints. Foreign merchants knew this system well. Trading in Byzantium wasn't easy, but it was reliable. Overseeing this entire structure were the logothetes, the empire's financial administrators. They prepared annual reports, maintained balanced budgets, and adjusted taxes during droughts or famines to prevent collapse. Of course, not everyone played fair. The wealthy landowners, known as dinotoi, often tried to dodge taxes. Emperors constantly issued new laws to preserve fairness and stability. Now, let's zoom out to Constantinople itself, the western gate of the Silk Road, the beating heart of the Mediterranean. A city of 400,000 people, 12 harbors, and over 1,000 ships arriving and departing daily. At dawn, silk, spices, glass, and wine left the docks, while gold, ivory, and grain flowed in. Trade was the pulse of Byzantium. Silk, especially, was a strategic secret. The silk guilds operated only with state permission. The production methods were so closely guarded that leaking them was practically treason. This secrecy allowed Byzantium to turn silk into a product as valuable as gold. Foreign merchants received chrysobuls, golden decrees granting trade privileges. The Venetians, for example, were exempt from certain taxes. In the short term, this boosted commerce. In the long run, it weakened the empire, as trade gradually shifted from Byzantium to Venice. Every rule of commerce was codified in the Book of the Eparch: price controls, quality standards, and guild regulations, all meticulously recorded. Constantinople's marketplace wasn't just economic, it was a reflection of imperial order. And now banking. Yes, Byzantium laid the groundwork for modern banking. The trapezitai, or bankers, served both merchants and the state. Interest rates ranged from 8% to 12%, and Emperor Justinian imposed caps to prevent exploitation. Merchants could deposit gold in one city and withdraw funds elsewhere using letters of credit. This was one of the world's first check systems. In Byzantium, money circulated, but trust was the true currency. The state treasury was managed by the sacellarios. Every expenditure, tax, and budget balance was recorded. If needed, emperors even borrowed from the church to maintain fiscal sustainability. Now to crisis management. Even during wars and famines, Byzantium found creative solutions. Under the theme system, farmers were granted land in exchange for taxes and military service. This ensured steady production and a self-sustaining army. Later came the pronoia system, where land was given to military commanders instead of salaries. It eased the state's financial burden while strengthening its borders. In short, Byzantium's economy was powered not only by gold, but by intelligence. But no system lasts forever. After centuries of dominance, the economy began to crumble. The numisma's purity fell to 25%, public trust eroded, and in 1204 the Crusaders sacked Constantinople. The treasury was emptied and trade routes slipped into Venetian hands. By the time the Ottomans conquered the city in 1453, the financial collapse had long since begun. Still, the Byzantine Empire leaves us with lessons that remain timeless today. First, a stable and trustworthy currency is the foundation of any strong economy. Second, fair taxation preserves both revenue and social balance. Third, balanced trade policies are the key to independence and resilience. Byzantium was a civilization built on financial intelligence, one that endured for over a millennium. But when it failed to adapt to a changing world, even that brilliance was tested. Perhaps today's modern economies, facing their own crises, still have much to learn from Byzantium. In the next video, we'll explore the rise of Islamic coins and trade networks during the Golden Age, from the Abbasid dinar to the vibrant trade routes of Al-Andalus, uncovering a fascinating economic legacy. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to keep diving deeper into the history of finance.